Hi, this is Mike from eZuce. Today we're going to see how to install OpenUC and SIPX ECS. You're going to learn why OpenUC is the right choice for open communications. OpenUC is super easy to install. All you'll need to know is the following information. What you're going to give the PBX for a host name, that is the fully qualified domain name, which is hostname dot and then domain name. The IP address you want to give to the PBX, along with its subnet and gateway. DNS server. You can let SIPX ECS be the DNS server for your phone network, or you can use your own DNS server. It's recommended for first-time users to set up SIPX ECS as a DNS server. And a DHCP server, so the telephones can get their IP addresses from the PBX. If you already have a DHCP server on your network, you may want to take a look at the wiki and get some information on how to configure DHCP. And lastly, your SIP domain, which is usually the last part of your fully qualified domain name. The install routine will pick the domain name off the fully qualified domain name as the SIP domain name. Okay, we're almost there. Go get the ISO from the wiki, wiki.sipfoundry.org. Download the current stable ISO, burn it to a CD, and then boot your machine off the CD. Okay, once you press enter, CentOS will load up and it will automatically partition the hard drive and then format the hard drive. Once it's done that, it will go ahead and copy the installation files right to the hard drive. And I've accelerated this process for us so we don't have to sit here and watch it. Here we go. Alright. Copying the bootloader to the hard drive, and the system is going to reboot now. Okay, here we are booting back up. System will go through some initial checks. Again, I've sped all this up so we don't have to sit here and wait for it. And for the first time, we're going to log in as user root with password setup. Press enter to select start. Set the root password that you're going to want to use. This is the root user for the Linux operating system. Press tab to move to OK and press enter. Okay, here's where we enter our PBX host name. I usually use something like SIPX dot and then the domain name that I want to use on the system. This is the IP address for the PBX. And the subnet mask, and the system's default gateway. Again, press tab to move to OK and press enter. Now you select yes if you do not want the PBX to be your DNS server, or no if you want it to be your DNS server. For your first time, go ahead and pick no. These are the forwarding DNS servers, so when you want to find something on the internet, I'm going to enter two that I use. The system's bringing up the network interface. Next thing we're going to need to do is set our time zone, what continent, and what city you're in. I'll go out and verify that it can get time properly. And then yes if you do not want the PBX to be your DHCP server, or no if you do want it to be your DHCP server. Again, for the beginner, pick no. You should be setting this up all on its own network. Okay. Click OK. And if this is the first server, which I assume it is, select first server and press enter. The system will take a guess at your domain name from your FQDN that you entered before. And I believe that's it for questions. It'll zip through the rest of it here after it generates certificates. And go ahead and hit Tab to move over to reboot, and the system will reboot. Okay, here the system is booting back up again. You're going to want to check and watch all the OKs over on the right hand side there. Make sure everything starts up properly. Sometimes if you have a funny network card, it may cause problems, or if you're using your own DNS server and you haven't configured DNS properly, the SIPX services may not start properly. And there we go. We've got a fully functional system. We can now point a web browser at the IP address or the domain name of the phone system. Congratulations. Once you manage to get your web browser pointed at the PBX, you'll be prompted to enter the super admin user password. This should be different from your root password. Go ahead and enter it twice and click apply. Once you've entered your super admin password, you'll be prompted to log into the system. Go ahead and use user ID super admin and the password you entered as a PIN and click the login button. To learn more about OpenUC, visit eZuce at www.eZuce.com.